We're going to have a look at a fairly unusual tool called an HHO torch, hydrogen oxygen torch. Now, for silver soldering and indeed soft soldering, conventionally I use the little torches such as this or these. All of these, which we've seen many times before, little butane torches, which do very well for their size. They get up to temperature all right, but they also pump out quite a lot of heat, there being a quite important difference between heat and temperature. With delicate work, we want to get the job up to temperature quickly, preferably without pumping too much heat into it, because of course heat travels and can undo adjacent work and cause other problems. However, these torches have served us very well over the years. Technology moves on, and it's now possible to get these things. I know you can't see it very clearly. It is, however, an HHO generator. The expensive ones are very expensive, £1,500, £2,000 or so. This is a little baby off eBay, and in fact they sell it for polishing perspex or something like that, rather than for silver soldering or anything like that. However, I bought it for silver soldering. We've had it about a year, something like that. I've never used it. My wife uses it a great deal, to the point where she rarely uses anything else. She absolutely loves it. The point about this thing is that it it produces, first of all, hydrogen and oxygen, and it does it by effectively cracking water. You fill it with distilled water, and electrolysis occurs, and it cracks it into hydrogen and oxygen, and it effectively bubbles that out in very small quantities, but the mixture of hydrogen and oxygen burns at a very high temperature, something like 4,000 degrees centigrade, which is very, very high. That can be beneficial because we can get the job up to temperature very quickly without putting a tremendous amount of heat into it. It also produces a very, very small flame, which, if you're a jeweler or a modeler, means controllability and accuracy. My wife uses it for jewellery, and so when she's silver soldering chains together or something like that, it's paramount that she doesn't want to melt the links. She doesn't want to melt any link other than the one she's actually working on. And this tool does that very, very well. As a modeler, I want to just solder the little bit I'm working on, and I want to do that quickly and effectively and well, but without trashing anything else. So again, controllability, vital for me. The business end of this, the hydrogen and oxygen comes out at this part here and comes down this plastic pipe effectively, and this is the torch. Now, in fact, this isn't the torch that was supplied. The torch that was supplied was much cruder than this. I had to pay about £27 extra for this torch, which includes a burn back arrestor to try and ensure that the flame never gets the chance to burn back into the machine, which is potentially dangerous. A flashback arrestor, just like you get on oxyacetylene bottles and all the rest. The other really safe thing about this whole device is it means you're not storing any gases, particularly oxygen, which is quite dangerous, very dangerous. You're not storing anything hazardous at all. You electrolyze the water into the two components as you are using it. So from that point of view, it's a lovely, lovely safe machine. Right, we've got a piece of brass, and we'll just see what we can do with that. See if we can make a proper little seam without messing it around too much. So we've got the thing going. We'll just, yeah, you can see. Yeah, right. And let's just see if we can make a fairly nice joint without ruining it. That's going well. And apart from the application of rather too much silver solder, that's gone very nicely indeed. And just blow the torch back out. And that has provided a very successful, although as I say rather generous joint in silver solder with no damage to the brass at all. The brass isn't in any way burnt out. That's very controllable. I could see exactly what I was doing, which is nice, always help. And that particular job is done nicely. Now what we'll do, I'll just, it's likely to be a bit hot, which is why I don't want to touch it particularly. I had some memory here. Just want to clean a bit off. Yeah, that is hot, I can feel it. Under normal circumstances I should quench that out. Now what we'll do is we will just silver solder a very little something to, I don't know, represent a lamp iron or something like that, to see if we can solder a little object on without burning, whoops, and I've dropped it. Let's go, I see it. There we go. To see if we can silver solder it on without burning the thing out or otherwise destroying it. So, see if I can get a little bit less silver solder on that. So just poke it with blue. Right, so that is a strip possibly 3mm wide, something like that. I think you can see it. Yep. Get the torch, fire it up again, being very careful. Again, you can see it's hot little torch, and let us just, now then, interesting, that blew that off with the force, the airstream of the thing, which isn't quite the idea at all. So, yeah. So actually the jet is... So do we need to throttle it down? There's a regulator on the side. I'm just winding it in. So there's very little reducing the pressure. Of course I've heated this silver solder, which it doesn't like being reheated, but we'll see. Now that's still quite a firm jet. But I've now only got a 2mm blue cone on that. No problem getting it up to temperature for the silver solder. The problem was it blowing away, which is interesting. Just blown that out for safety's sake. I think we might do another one of those and just try holding it down and see how that goes. This experimentation is what it's all about. Keep putting the emery down. There it is, underneath. Right. There's a little bit of this. Right. Let's see what happens with this. So I've got about a 2mm cone. And in fact that's gone fine. Basically oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. I've pushed the paste down firmly into the parent metal, and that's stuck down very, very nicely, and in fact I can apply as much heat as I want in that, and that's done. That's done beautifully. Incidentally, the machine cuts in and out according to the pressure it's applying. So that second one was absolutely fine. It just needs the silver solder pushing in properly so it sticks to it, and then the torch doesn't blow it away, and even screwed right down so you've got a minuscule flame. It provides lots of lovely heat and no apparent risk. And no apparent risk of burning the object you're soldering away. for me, the result of this is I shall have no hesitation whatsoever in assembling my next loco using this torch as opposed to the old butane torches. I think it's an absolutely great machine. It's very, very controllable indeed. Really good value for money. I'm not suggesting everyone rushes out and buys an HHO machine. It's only any use if you, or it's only any value if you give it a lot of use. If, however, you do, and as I say, my wife uses it as well, so, or especially, this is the first time I've ever used it. It represents very good value in this household. As I say, 150 quid on eBay, plus another 27 or so for the torch. Very, very well pleased. I would emphasise what I demonstrated about the heat from the end of the torch and how far it reaches. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You could set fire to things at quite a distance. We do have buckets of water in here, we do have fire extinguishers, etc. We are careful, but you could burn yourself extremely badly with something like this simply because you didn't see it. So, like all tools, they get used with a great deal of respect. But it's an extremely good one, this. I hope it's been informative, even if not of any particular use to you.